During the peak of the pandemic, everything closed. So I joined even Uber Eats to deliver food because it was one of the few things that were still moving.
Yeah.
Essentials. And while I was working on that, I was going through the program. The first deal that I had, she got approved for 80 grand and she invested it. And she's like so grateful.
What do you think is the total revenue you've generated so far?
Probably like around 60 to 70 grand. I'm gonna hit like $1 million in loans and probably like $1 million in ERC.
That's totally amazing. As far as the ROI is concerned, I don't even know how many times ROI. That's like 20, 30 times ROI in a few months. That's like insane.
The vehicle that you provide is so amazing and it's so complete that it has everything that we need. It has everything. If you're looking to join the program, do it. It's the best decision you will ever make.
Hey everyone, Oz Konar here with Business Lending Blueprint. Today I have a special guest, my friend Alan. I've known him for years, but I met him for the first time in Miami this month, like a few weeks ago, pretty much. And we spent some quality time. Honestly, on this channel and through, if you've been following us through the emails that we send you on our website, we have literally hundreds of people who've been having massive success with Business Lending Blueprint. So for that reason, I don't necessarily ask my members to join me on Zoom calls and talk about the program, because if anyone is looking into it, there's more than enough proof that this is real. If you're willing to put the work, there's no free money. You have to spend the time, but you have to spend the time, put in the work anyways to something, right? So it's better to put into something that actually grows and you can turn it into a business that can sustain your life and build and evolve into like a scaling type of business with high profitability. So I'm only doing these when I come across people that are interesting and they've been in our community for a while and we spend some time. So I kind of know them personally. That's what I decided to do instead of spitting out like so many testimonials. So Alan is one of those people. So we were in Miami for 2 days for an event. He got an exclusive invitation from me along with 15 other people, I believe, because they're operating at a higher level in their business and they focused on this one lending option. So you're going to see some footage on your screen. So we had about more than $500,000 in one room for 2 days of people who generated revenue through that lending option. And we have about a dozen of them. This was just one of them. So the lending company invited us over and we had an amazing 2 days. And that's when I got the chance to get to know Alan and his principles and what he's been doing. It just made sense for us to continue our conversation here for you guys. So Alan, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you. How about you? All good?
I am doing great. Thank you. Great to have friends on this channel and be able to have this casual conversation. So Alan, when did you join a Business Lending Blueprint? Do you remember?
I joined May 2020 because
May 2020.
I joined as an investment in the vehicle that you provide and also as a birthday present to me.
Birthday present to you.
Yeah, because I saw one of the reviews. She said, do it. This is amazing. Do it for you. And I took her word. And after reaching out to you through YouTube channels, you were amazing answering my questions in less than 48 hours. And your team, when I called, they were responsive. And the reviews and the testimonials, I went through all of them. And I said, this is something good. And I joined. And I know I was here for the long run because I found the value of what you do. Thank you for it. And I started slow, but I knew I wanted to build good foundation, understand everything in the way that I can explain to my clients what I do and how we can help them, but I'm not feeling like insecure. So that's the way I like to do things. I like to dive, to know what I'm doing, know all the angles of the business, and then go out and kill it. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. Like I joined it 2020 and it still has more value than ever before for me because you bring new programs and your support. It's amazing. I just want to thank you for everything.
No, thank you. I know that it was interesting to see that you almost know all the team members within the Blueprint, right? So you were kind of friends with Cenk. He's our general manager and he's the head coach. He used to be a broker himself. Then I kind of hired him to work with our member because he's obsessed with success. So he wants to make sure that everyone is successful. Then it was great seeing you guys. It seems like you've been on calls like for so often ever since you started and all that stuff. You know, Samantha, she's the head of our support, helping our members. That's awesome that you created that bond, because when people join Blueprint, they either create a bond with the community itself or with the team, BLB team, because that's where they get their coaching from, right? One-on-one coaching, group coaching, and all of that. It seems like everyone knew you. That's very interesting.
Yeah, because I've been joining the weekly calls since I started. I was working doing 3D tours for virtual properties.
Mm.
And during the peak of the pandemic, everything closed. I was driving like 1,000 miles a month. And
Wow.
also when the 3D tours business stopped for a little while. So I joined even Uber Eats to deliver food because it was one of the few things that were still moving,
Yeah.
essentials. And while I was working on that, I was going through the program,
Wow.
all the models. And I was like learning. And going through the weekly calls from the ones that were on file, listening to the questions from other students,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to get as much info as I could learn. And then when I had everything set, I went out to businesses to offer my services, and I have pretty good response. It's been amazing. It's starting to change my life because I'm having the freedom of movement, the freedom of time, and also we're helping people. Who doesn't want help when they can't find money? Like,
That's probably one of the worst problems to have, right? So people need money and they need it in a relatively fast manner and they don't know their options. So that's the audience that we're dealing with. And there are millions of them out there, either if they want to start a business or grow a business, like in your case, if they want to get into real estate and buy more properties and whatnot. So there's so many areas of finance that you can help when you become like a finance broker, right? So you help them with their daily needs, with their business needs and all of that. And that's a lot of people out there. It's not that they don't want to get funding. It's just they don't know their options, right? So if they go through a bank, they have horrible experiences. So I'm glad that we have you in our community. I remember that you and I were kind of chatting on YouTube comments like before you
you
joined,
remember?
right?
Yeah.
I do
Awesome.
remember because I'm kind of obsessed with our YouTube channel because that's my opportunity to actually interact with people who are asking questions. Those questions are like super important to me. I don't do it for likes or like positive comments. Obviously, they're fine. I'll take it. I thank for that. But I'm like a lot more interested if someone is like genuinely interested and they're asking questions on how this works. Because like you said, I know that it's a pretty big decision for a lot of people, right? It's not, I don't take it lightly because you were doing Uber Eats. Now you're becoming a loan broker in the financial services industry. That's a major shift. And from our conversation, I know that you got your family involved in this too. Your wife is a part of this now.
Yeah, my wife, she's been listening to all the models and she's been helping me with creating flyers and posts for the Facebook page and for LinkedIn. I'm convincing her to start doing ERC calls also, like, hey babe, you need to call the schools because she's been in the education. She was, before getting married, she was working at a school. She graduated in technology and education. It's her career. Like they do like applications and how they do it, present to the kids and in schools. And I told me, hey, you're starting to see the checks coming in from the ERC. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, but with the kids right now, she has her hands full, but she's been pretty helpful with me. And each day she's joining me more. And I practice with her the calls, the rebuttals and things like,
nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
it's
also
obviously
creates
she's
interaction.
interaction is important and she's also seeing the commitment that you have to the business. It's contagious, right? When someone is committed to doing something and other people see that you're like laser focused on that thing, they're attracted to it. I think the biggest reason why people succeed in this business is when they truly believe in what they're doing, right? So the business is solid, it will work with you or without you. But if you follow a system, it transforms your life. So let's talk about what it is that you're doing as a business loan broker, because in our community, again, we have different funding options, different specialties, different niches. What are you going after? What kind of businesses that you're working with to help them get funding?
I started as a generalist. The first deal that I had was someone that I know personally. They invited me to a conference about business investment opportunity that I will get like 8% monthly if I invested like 10 grand. But it was like something like multi-level. I went to thousands of conferences about that, trying to get some other business. But it was not my thing. I did it just to listen to the person that invited me. And I ended up signing her for a line of credit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because she said, hey, Alan, you should join in. Yeah, but I'm into something else. And she was, no, you can invest here. I told her, well, why don't you invest and I can get you unsecured line of credit. You don't need collateral. And she was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And that day she said, oh yeah, come to my office. And she gave me her credit report, her ID. She gave me everything. And she got approved for 80 grand. And she invested it. And she's like so grateful with me. Like she even told me, hey, I want to give you a present. I'm going to give you the entrance fee for that investment. So she gave me 1,500 from her pocket. And
Wow.
she signed me up in that business. And I was like, amazing. And she already sent me like 4 referrals for ERC.
What?
Yeah,
Nice.
she just texted me yesterday with a phone number of her cousin. She said, hey, call my cousin. He's interested.
That's
And
an amazing story. So for those who might not know, the first one was a line of credit. That's money that she can get access to when she needs it, up to $80,000. It's not like a loan that ends up in your bank account, but you're approved for that. So you can draw against it as you need it, and she's using it. I mean, you definitely set her up for success because she has access to it. She was investing it back into her business, and her business is growing right now. So
yeah,
it's not just you're making money, obviously, we're helping her, but you're also helping her grow the business. So it's a win-win-win situation. And on top of that, you got your enrollment fee paid out by her out of pocket, and she gave you 4 referrals. That's amazing. And also, oh yeah, you're talking about 4 referrals on ERC. ERC is Employee Retention Tax Credit. So when you're part of Business Lending Blueprint, you get access to partners. One of them is they're huge on helping people claim the tax credit that they might be qualified for through the pandemic, right? So if they still kept their employees and they kept them on payroll with the other criteria that's in place, they can get access to hundreds, sometimes millions of dollars from IRS. So they're not getting a loan. It's not something they have to pay back. It's just an amount that they are mostly entitled to, but they don't know how to claim. They don't know anything about it. Now, these 4 referrals, I'm sure some of them will turn into your actual clients. And by helping them find out about this opportunity, you also generate income, right? So I'd say, I don't know how many wins there are. There's so many win situations across the board. So it's super exciting.
I mean, just winning since I joined the program. Yeah. It's the best investment I made in my life. Like my mind is always like trying to look on the business wherever I am. But since I joined the Blueprint, it's been like just this. I also signed her for ERC. She and her sister,
Oh, wow,
they
really?
have a business also, like it's like a family medical care place. And they're about to get their checks. They're getting 68,000 for
And
the
she would
business.
not even have known about it if it wasn't for you, right? So there's no way she would have known about this.
Exactly. The other day, I told about the program to a guy that has a meat place, a butcher shop. He didn't wanted to do it with me because, I don't know, he said, I'm going to go with my accountant. And I say, you're going to go with your accountant? Your accountant never told you about it? And he said, yeah, but that's how the way I am. I don't trust other people, just my circle. And he called me, hey, Alan, I want to let you know that I applied for DRC. I'm going to get my money and I'm going to give you something because you told me about it.
Wow.
I know I didn't did it with you, but you told me about it and I'm getting money. So I'm going to give you like around $2,000. And I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, this is a part of helping other people, right? So you're not just helping them get funding, you're sometimes educating them, which is for small businesses, it's difficult to get education because they're usually like so busy with so many things, right? No one's going to come in and update them, sometimes including their accountant. I mean, they mean well, but a lot of these accountants are missing out on the ERTC, and they're only notified the client when someone like you comes up to them and say, hey, have you claimed your ERTC? Because there's an expiration date on it. So now this person is going to get, I don't know how much, but I mean, anywhere from 50,000 to 200,000, and you're going to get rewarded. Not only you made a new friend and referral partner, but they're going to pay you 2,000. So that's awesome. I love stories like this. This is great.
Yes, and it just keeps getting better. Like before, like in November, I had a chat with someone on LinkedIn and he said, oh, I think I don't qualify for any of your programs. And I said, well, let me see, what are your needs? And he has a cannabis business. He said, oh, talk with my associate. His associate called me. I told him, I can get you a line of credit. And he said, no, I don't want a lot of credit. I want to use a property that I have to get the money because they grow cannabis in New York and they have license. And I got him like around 250K.
Wow.
He used 2 properties. No, he used 1, but it's a duplex. Everything went smooth and he got funded. And I have another deal that I'm closing that I started chatting with the CEO of a company. And then he told me, talk to this guy. And then I talked to his friend and his friend said, okay, now talk to this guy. And I talked to the other guy, and they're using 3 properties for a mortgage loan. We're working on that one to close it also, and it's going to be another win. Hopefully.
It's going to be a huge win. I guess to core message here is that many people think that they're not qualified for something because they kind of have been conditioned that way by the banks, right? So, oh, yeah, I don't qualify for anything, this is not going to work. And you use the creative funding strategies that we teach along with the partners that we have. You help someone who thought she can't be helped. Not only that, but now another person, like through their real estate, now you're helping them get the funding that they need, right? So the interesting thing is you didn't know anything about these products and lending options and all of that prior to joining BLB, I guess, right? So did you have any prior experience or knowledge on this industry?
Nothing at all. I've always liked to talk to people. I've been doing like paperwork of my life from properties that we had, or talk to lawyers or things like that. But I've never did it before. I've been in sales. I was searching to sell on Amazon before, like to start an online business or drop shipping, or I was studying that before finding the blueprint. And then an MCA and topic came in my YouTube feed. And then I was like, MCA, what's that? And Merchant Cash Advance. And I was like, that sounds interesting. At first, the terms seemed a little bit confusing. And then I saw your ad and I was, oh, this guy is pretty interesting. And he talks pretty clear. And let's see what he got. And I paid attention to everything you were saying. And he got me hooked. And I want to learn more. And I want to learn more. I saw the reviews and the testimonials. And I was like, wow, this seems pretty legit. And then you started answering my questions, and you too. And I was, man, if I had a teacher like this guy in college, I would have graduated with honors. Yeah, no, for sure.
So Alan, why is it important? Because I know some people, I don't want to say they're against it, but I think they think, and I used to be like this, you can kind of do it all by yourself. You don't really need a coach or mentor. So what difference does it make to have a company or someone who can kind of help you with this? Like, can you like do a comparison, what it would be like without a system versus a system?
Yeah, it will be like being on a boat rowing by yourself, or like being on a yacht with people that you can chat and you can talk to people. Hey, you want to come here? Here's everything. We have a lot of space here. We're going far away. Don't worry. We have all supplies. It's so much different because you guys are so responsive in a quickly manner. It's not even comparable because you will like hit a roadblock and then like you can get confused with a lot of information. That's mostly the thing that I would find value, because you can do it by yourself. But there's a lot of mentors and a lot of programs and a lot of info that you can get confused. Should I go this way? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What should I do? And having a support with you is like, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, I think you should better go this way. You provide what we need to succeed. That's why I haven't been like too active in the Facebook group. I've been paying attention, a lot of attention on what other people ask, but I wanted to go first with what you provide in all the models, because the vehicle that you provide is so amazing and it's so complete that it has everything that we need. It has everything. It's a lot of difference. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very informative. Thank you. So what I noticed, Alan, I think you might agree with that. People don't need more information, right? In this day and age, we have more information on anything, even things that we don't want to know about. It's an information overload. They need direction, because otherwise, we could have had a training with so much more stuff. Like every day I'm pitched by some person about their program, so they want to add it to the blueprint, and I decline 95% of them. Why? Because I don't want my members to get their eyes off of the price. We already have things in there that has made tens of millions of dollars for people. So I don't want to take away from that. What I care about more is not so much more information, but it's like a clear direction. And I have certain things that I keep saying, right? Just focus on one course until success. I keep hammering that, take imperfect action. I focus on one thing if possible. Many people think that having 15 other businesses will make more money. You've been on that boat. I've been on that boat. It just doesn't work. Yeah, if you have to keep a side job until you get this going, that's perfectly fine. But at some point, you gotta stop and think, like, what am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? And based on that, find a vehicle and follow a system that works. We have people from all walks of lives, from different ages, different gender, different backgrounds. Most of them didn't even know anything about this industry. And look at you, you were talking about lines of credit, employee retention tax credit, and all of that sounds really complicated. But as a matter of fact, if you follow the guidelines and system provided to you, it's not that complicated. In a few months, you can help people get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And by doing so, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars yourself. So it's a very interesting business model. And that's why like I wanted to bring you on today, because you're like a great example of just following the damn system, not make it complicated. Don't try to create your own stuff. There's a reason why we keep it the way that it is and update it as we see fit. But I notice how focused you are on that thing, and you're kind of going after it with all you got. And obviously it's building your business. Yeah, that's not very common. So I appreciate what you bring to our community. And on those 2 days, that was super important to watch these people who are on the top tier within our BLB community and how focused these people are on what they're trying to accomplish. So let's talk about the event that we were just in, like for 2 days. What was maybe 1 or 2 big takeaways that you had in that room for 2 days?
The support that we had from the people in the company. Like you said at dinner, like it's the same culture from your business and their business. The team that you have, they're extremely supportive, and they just focus on getting you to succeed in your business. Like they say, hey, if you have some like struggling with a client, give us a call. Put us with them on the phone, and we'll help you close it. And when you presented the ERC program, I went all in to the streets, going door to door to restaurants, to veterinarians, to all the businesses that were around me. And even that it takes a few months to get your commission from that program, I never doubted, because you presented it and everything you do has a lot of value and integrity. So I never doubt about it. I was like, no, it's for real. Being there and getting to know the people, the CEO, the VP, everyone in there is what they transmit on the calls, because I've been also in 80% of the weekly calls from that program since I joined. And sometimes I'm just doing other things, but I put my headphones and I'm listening to the questions. And it's amazing because your team and the partnerships that you have, they have so much value, and it's like the same family.
That's a great observation. That's the same way I felt, because these partners, I know a lot of them in person and we're really close and our families see each other. But this partner, although we've been on many calls together, I never met them in person. But when we united in that room, it felt like it was one company, right? So it was really interesting. So because they have their own teams, I have my own team, there are lending partners, and then we went in there as their guests, like 15 of us. You wouldn't be able to separate which is which. We share the same values, same integrity, our intentions of how we want to help the business and all of that. That was like massive overlap. So it turned into like our own event, almost like a BLB event, which was awesome to watch. So I know you have some ERTC stuff, some real estate stuff. If you look at from the inception, which is only a few months ago, what do you think is the total revenue you've generated so far through this business, even the pending payments that are through ERTC that's coming through?
Probably like around 60 to 70 grand. I'm gonna hit like $1 million in loans and probably like $1 million in ERC.
That's totally amazing. And in a matter of a few months, you're talking about 60 to 70. And honestly, you're just starting out, right? So these referrals are coming in, and referrals lead to more referrals. And you're like a super hardworking person. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, as far as the ROI is concerned, I don't even know how many times ROI. That's like 20, 30 times ROI in a few months. That's like insane. So a lot of people are obviously looking into our program. They're trying to figure out if business loan brokerage is for them or not. You've said already a lot of things, but specifically talking to those people, what do you suggest they do?
I suggest if you're thinking about joining, just do it. You're going to thank it to yourself in the future, because it's a business that you can do from everywhere in the world. You can do it on your own time and you have freedom. And the community is amazing. The other students that I met over there, they're amazing. They have the same drive to succeed. They're not like closed people. They want to share. They want to help you with everything you can. They like to partner, and they have the same culture as a program. It's amazing what you're building, what you built already. I say building because you keep adding programs of value.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to build it without our members, but I think one thing, if we can say one thing that we succeeded together collectively as a BLB community is our community culture, right? Everyone is kind of watching out for each other. They're helping each other. That's special. That's rarely seen. So what's ending up becoming, as I said in other recordings, that all of my friends are from the BLB at this point, because you shouldn't have a company if you don't want to hang out with your customers and your team members. So we love doing that. So I truly do enjoy that. but I don't want to keep you any longer. So for those who are watching, if you want to work with Alan, he's obviously great at what he does with very high level of integrity. If you're looking for funding, if you haven't gotten your ERTC check from the government, if you haven't even claimed it, so I suggest that you reach out to him. I'm going to put his link below this video. So just read the description or reach out to him. He's an amazing dude that I kind of vouch for sure. So with that, Alan, thanks so much, man. Great to have you here. Great to have you in our community. We'll do amazing things. We'll keep doing amazing things together for sure.
Thank you. And thank you to all your team. I love you guys. I hope to meet you again soon, to be with you soon. And if you're looking to join the program, do it. It's the best decision you will ever make. Just do it.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Big hug.